What up, guys? What up, what up, what up? This is going to be episode 1 of Coaches Convo, alright? So this is going to be a new little podcast that we're going to try to bring to you guys weekly, maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, depending on our schedules, and if we can manage to pump out as many videos as possible. Alright, so just a little gist of what this podcast is going to be. We're just going to be talking, whether it's about fitness, inside the gym, outside the gym, diet, nutrition, inside the gym and outside the gym, what you should be doing to fuel your body properly, and then recovery, as well as just having some good times and good conversations, good talks. So we're looking very much forward to this as well.
Then we're going to talk about like pet peeves in the gym, I think, little things that we notice on social media that we agree with or disagree with, because there's so much information out there. I think it's good to have one conversation, one podcast that kind of goes through all that, verifies what we see, and you get a real conversation from real trainers, real people in the field, not people that look really good and just post online. So we're gonna tell you a little bit about ourselves. We'll start with Quan over here.
Why you do that to me? You threw me under the bus already. Alright, so a little bit about myself. Alright, so I've been in the training field or fitness industry for about 5 years. I started by training myself. Funny story is I started with a trainer. I'm gonna give his name out there, sorry, but Jake Murphy. He messaged me one day. He was like, "Quan, you look like a slob, and come work out with me." So that's initially how it started for me. I'm sure if you guys got into the field, it's probably a lot different, but that was the best route for me personally, having someone influence me to get me into the gym. I was kind of going down the wrong path with no direction, so now that's kind of similar to a lot of people. If you don't have a direction or you don't know which route you want to take your time. I'm sure you'll find something out there that you'll fall in love with and take off with. Alright, so fortunate for me, I was able to work with a trainer for about a little bit over a year, and I was able to lose almost 80 to 90 pounds under my trainer. So I started off about 265 pounds. I was a big fella, you guys won't be able to tell now, but yeah, I was 285 pounds, and I got all the way down to about 160 pounds. From there, I decided that I wanted to bulk back up, put on some muscle size, and now let me tell you guys really quickly, I was not following a diet plan or anything. It was just a workout routine with my coach and trainer. And then my diet was in my hands, and I necessarily just didn't eat. Now, I had very bad food habits. That's why I was obese and fat. And then I developed very bad food habits on my journey, losing that weight as well. I kind of just cut out food completely, and it was terrible. I felt like crap 24/7, all right? 90% of the day, I was angry, and I was looking to just fight. Honestly, it was terrible. Alright, so I don't recommend doing it the way I did it. That's why I became a coach now myself, and that's why I'm into the nutritional field also. Alright, so along my journey, took me about 14 months to get that weight off, and then I decided to bulk back up, started putting on some size. I decided to work by myself, and then I also started gym hopping from there as well. So I went to Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, Unique Fitness, and then Gold's Gym as well. I went to a bunch of different gyms, and then I ultimately fell in love with the Gold's Gym environment, and then the people and the trainers that were there that would come up to me and just show me little tips and tricks and just make my day, And then from there, I became a personal trainer, so I decided to go with ISSA, International Sports Science Association. I went and got my personal training certification as well as the nutrition certification that I'm currently going through right now. And then from there, I started training people, training my friends on the side, and then I got a job at the gym as well. Once I started at the gym, it was a phenomenal first day. Like, I had maybe 2 to 3 clients first day. It was insane. And then from there, it kind of just took off. But now I'm dragging my story off. I'm gonna let Will pick this up and tell you guys a little bit about himself.
Nah, it's good to know the full story behind the man, the myth, the legend, Quan.
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
So, I had a bit of a reverse story. So I know Quan started off really big. I started off very skinny. I started off at I didn't break 100 pounds until my sophomore year of high school. So when I was 16 is when I finally broke 100 pounds. That was a big deal for me. I hate you. So, that was just by eating like a horrible person. I was just eating crap food, eating junk food. Also not following a diet plan. Didn't really work out. I was on and off training. Like, I had like a little weight set in my basement. Got out of high school, my first year of college. I was in a relationship. I got dumped hard, and I had nothing to do. I was chilling around, and a Planet Fitness opened up about 5 minutes from my job. So one of my coworkers was like, "Hey man, let's go to the gym. It just opened up. It'll be nice. It'll be something to do. And I fell in love with the process. I started working out twice a day, which I also don't recommend unless you're properly recovering, which I wasn't. I was sleeping maybe 3-4 hours a day. I was training in the morning, training at night with 2 different groups of people. I put on at least 20 pounds right away. And so I sat at about 120 for a couple years. And in that process, I fell in love with teaching people. One of my claims to fame was I was always good at pull-ups just because I had no body weight. So I was able to do pull-ups really easily. But then I got my skinny friend who was skinnier than me somehow to do a pull-up. And I also got my overweight friend to do a pull-up. So I fell in love with the process of training people, fell in love with the process of like how the muscles work and what muscle groups do what and how to get the most effective workout and not waste my time in the gym because I was wasting a lot of time in the gym. From there, I started really honing in my craft. I decided to get my personal training certification in 2020, right before the pandemic. I got a job at LA for a day, realized that the job that they gave me wasn't the right fit for me because it was more the sales background. I wanted to train people, so I left. I worked my retail job throughout the whole pandemic, when the world shut down. But I was doing a lot of online training. I was doing a lot of stuff on my own, learning more. I came to Gold's Gym in 2021 or 2022 after I got fired from my job, came here on a whim, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. Ever since then, I got my fitness nutrition specialist program. So I'm with the American Council of Exercise, the ACE certification, and I'm just continuing to learn. I'm going to learn corrective exercise. I want to keep going in that field, but in the meantime, I have about 20 clients. I've had 30 over the course of my 2 years here. Some stayed with me, some left. Me and Quan both have tremendous transformations of ourselves because we both did competitions. We did our first competition. He did his first competition in 2022 or 2021.
This is my first year, so 2022. Both this year.
Mm-hmm. I did one in 2021 and I did 2 in 2022. From there, I jumped up to I went from 150 pounds when I started working here, jumped all the way up to 180, cut back down to 154, and now I'm sitting around 160, 170, getting ready for our next competition.
Oh yes, and let me add to that because if it wasn't for him doing competitions, I probably would not have entered a competition myself. So, like I said before, I was training 5 years myself, going into my 6th year starting January. But this year was something that hit me. I didn't really have that direction, that goal in mind. So, yes, I was able to successfully put on size, but it's always been get bigger, get bigger, get bigger with no real goal in mind or no goal weight. And no deadline or date. So having that date from the competition really cranked things up a notch. So like he was saying, I did 2 competitions this year as well, with a little bit of a gap in between, and it's night and day from the first competition to the second competition. Mm-hmm. And it really just hones in on your work, your hard work, and then your consistency. And then that goes with inside and outside the gym. I'm sure you guys know that. But yeah, no, the competitions completely opened my eyes, completely changed my life, and I'm really looking forward to the next one that we're planning on doing together again in August of next year. But before then, it was just coming into the gym and training, trying to look good, feel good, and then clear your mind necessarily. Ultimately, all those things do work with inside the gym, but you really need to have something that you're striving to achieve or something that you're looking to reach for with a date or a deadline in mind so that you could really hold yourself accountable. Because you could find yourself coming into the gym, like he was saying, and just and just working out with no real, motive or anything, So it's really easy to just come into the gym. I actually say it's hard to come into the gym, but it's pretty easy to come into the gym and just fall off and not really know what you're doing once you get inside. So It's good to have a deadline, good to have something in mind and something to strive for.
And we'll definitely talk more about, natural bodybuilding, and because we both did a natural competition. We'll talk about the pros and cons of bodybuilding in general. We'll definitely have guests that are from different perspectives, people from the NPC universe, from the NPC world, and from different coaches and stuff like that. But we also want to hear from you. So we definitely have a lot to talk about. As you can see, neither of us can shut up. So it's going to be a lot of fun just trying to figure out when the next one can talk between the other one talking. But we also want to hear from you because this podcast is for us, but it's also for you. So if you have any topics that you're concerned about, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, or if you heard something from someone and you don't know how it feels, like I had a client this morning say, I saw this fighter on YouTube say that he eats like a ton of pizza before he goes to sleep, and I had to explain to him like, well, that's the difference between a fighter and you. But we'll get to all that. We'll talk about all that. And we'll break all that down. Yeah. But if you have any of those questions, feel free to DM us. Our ask is going to be down here, right here at the bottom. Feel free to message us. Feel free to stop in if you're at one of the Gold Gym locations in Islip and Middle Island. Come talk to us. Come find us. We're always here to train. We're always here to teach. And anything else you have to say?
Yeah, I actually want to get into something else real quick.
All right.
I wanted to ask you,
okay,
your experiences since you've started training. What have you seen that are positive and negative with clients and or individuals that you've had come across or in front of your face?
Positive and negatives.
Yeah, let's get into it. Positive and negatives.
So there's definitely a lot of positives. I've seen positives of when it clicks. That's such an important thing. That's such a big piece. And it's so hard to find because everyone clicks a little differently. Mm-hmm. But you can see it in their face. I've trained clients that they've given up mentally in their head. They don't want to they're not going to get to where they want to be. They're just here because this is justified. They're paying this money and they're coming with a trainer just to kind of say they're doing it, but they're not intense in the workout. They're not doing anything outside of the workout, and they're not willing to learn. And those are, I guess, the negatives would be like the people that are just not going to pursue it. They're not going to actively do it. And I don't mean people that want to make fitness their whole life, but people that are just looking for their health and looking for just a way to better themselves in this one aspect of their world. People that don't want to be better. And so that's always frustrating. So you'll kind of come in and day out, and you're dreading that workout more than they are. You come in and you almost hope they call out. You almost hope that they flake. I'm gonna be honest, like I feel that way with a few clients where I'm just like not really there.
Not really.
Yeah, but you always gotta, make the positive, be like, all right, I have to be the thing that's gonna help them change. Now I can't make them change myself, but I can find the right way. And that was a big part of my certification with ACE was behavior modification. And that's something that I also have a background in just growing up. So how can I change these behaviors? What reward systems can I put in to make it click for them? And once it clicks, man, you feel so good.
Night and day.
When you see that transformation, when you're seeing it in their face, when you see how excited they are, it makes everything else worth it. It makes the long hours, it makes the early days, the late nights, it makes the weird fragmented schedule, it makes everyone calling out on one day and no one calling out the next day. It makes it all worth it. What about you?
I would touch base with that as well. Not to say the exact same thing that you said, but yeah, so a few of the negatives would just be the client's mentality or their mental space, how they walk into the gym and how they, what's the image that they have on their face already? Are they looking like they want it? Are they looking like they want to have a good workout? Are they looking like they want to get to their goals? And it sounds weird saying that because they are paying clients, but some people actually don't really want it. They kind of want me to do it for them in a sense. And that's nothing bad, nothing to bash on, because they did make a step out and reach out to a personal trainer, and that is hard in itself. So I do commend them for doing such. But I would say it's just the mentality game, and like he was saying, we need to get it to flip, and that's very hard as a trainer, because I want it. I want it for you guys, man. I want it probably more than you guys want it. So it's pretty odd when those come across, but it's very few and very little people do that. So it's just like here and there. But I would say a positive is seeing them get their results and seeing their happiness from getting results. And that's not just inside the gym, that's outside the gym as well. Yes, we could get your body composition to completely flip, but realistically, I want your mentality to completely flip. I want you to be feeling good 24/7. I know that's basically impossible, but coming into the gym, you should be feeling good. Leaving the gym, you should be feeling good. Before you go to sleep, you should be feeling good. While you're eating, you should be feeling good 24/7. All right, you should be feeling good, and that's what the gym or your nutritional guide or plan will help you do. So that's one of the biggest positives for me, I would say, that I've seen is getting my people to their results, necessarily, and then having their lifestyles completely flip and change. So that's the greatest part for me. And then having other people open up to you and entrusting you as well, because that's a major factor. If they don't trust you, nothing's going to get done necessarily. All right, so getting the people to that want it and that trust you is actually positive for me, I would say, definitely.
Absolutely. You definitely become a therapist as well as a personal trainer. You
Oh, yeah,
definitely
it's
have
fun.
this weird emotional connection with these people. You see them all the time. You see them a couple times a week. You really get to know them. You get to know their families. I actually had one client. She comes in for the session. She goes, "This is a weird request. My grandson is in dental school and he's getting inducted in right now. It's a live stream. Is there any way we can work out and watch it?" And I said, absolutely. So I actually set up an ab wheel that's got a little strap on it. I put her phone through the strap, and she's an older woman. It's all mobility training. So we're sitting on like the weight stand with the ab wheel with the phone facing her. So she's watching the people come up and she's doing all her mobility training, and we get to see her grandson come on stage, and she was all excited. And that was just a really cool moment for me.
Yeah, it's all about connections, I would say, if I could bounce off of that. It's
100%.
It's the connection that you get to build with the client over a short or a long period of time. Now, I've been with clients, I've been with one for going over 2 years. We're about to start our third year. I've been with clients where we've been only 3 months or 1 month, 1 week, one session. You still build a connection with them, and then ultimately that stays forever. So that's also probably the best positive out of training, necessarily, the relationships that you're able to build with the people that you have in front of you. And I'm fortunate enough to have met, like he said, he's trained maybe 25 to over 30 people inside of this gym, and some come back, some go. But I'm sure that we're both very fortunate that we've been able to be in this position to have even met the person in front of us. So
Oh, absolutely.
that's a positive in itself, man. That's positive.
Absolutely. And I love, I don't know about you, but I love seeing my clients, whether they're former clients or current clients, in the gym without me.
Oh yeah,
it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy seeing them, ask them what they're hitting, what they're working on, and watching them. I don't know about you, but there's something, it makes me so proud when I see them doing one of our workouts that we did together. A workout that I showed them that they like.
They're like, this is hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is so hard.
They complained about it during the workout, but now they're doing it on their own,
making it look easy. I love it.
And that's another thing that I want to, like, one of the positives I just thought about while we were talking is how some clients make you better as a trainer.
Oh, yeah. Ultimately.
I really came into this with a cocky attitude, not cocky, but I really thought, I know what I'm doing, but I only knew how to do one thing. I knew how to put muscle onto a skinny kid, because that's what I was. That's all I did. Now I have weight loss clients. I have clients with a lot of muscle stiffness and mobility issues. I have clients that are looking to lose weight and build muscle. I have clients that are looking for more athletic performance. And this is all outside of my wheelhouse. This is all stuff I had to learn. I've also learned how to make a 10-minute workout feel like a 30-minute workout because my client showed up 20 minutes late. And so it makes you a better trainer. It also makes you a better trainer because you have to figure out new workouts. Otherwise, you get stale. And you have to... Also, you might have your perfect workout set up and the gym's packed. And every machine you want is taken. So you got to get creative because you can't... when you're training yourself, you can hang out a little bit. You can walk around. You can wait for that machine to open. That client's time is valuable. So you got to... Whether it's a 30-minute client or an hour client that we train, you got to, think of something new. What else could... Yeah, and it makes you a better trainer. And you end up finding old workouts you haven't done since high school, or find new workouts, or even, dig more into the online section.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Mickey, open your damn textbook again, okay? Open your textbook again, man. That's probably the number one thing that I like about the clients is that when they do come in and then it starts to get a little stale, I kind of let them tell me, like, all right, can you make it a little bit more challenging? I throw things at them. They're like, oh, no.
Yeah, then that challenging.
Yeah. Then they'll be like, all right, can we make this is a little easy. Can we make it a little challenging? Yes, and now I have to go back into my archives, man. Dig deep. And then that just stems back into continued education. So that's the number one thing with being a trainer is just always keeping your eyes open for the knowledge, because there's so much new information that comes out yearly. It's pretty crazy. And like he was saying, we don't just have weight loss clients or muscle building clients necessarily. We have athletes that come in that want to get better at their specific sport, or they want to become quicker, more agile. We have elder clients that want just mobility and range of motion training necessarily, and that requires us to be continuously learning and finding new things and new ways, techniques to give these people optimal goals and optimal results necessarily. So it's super dope, man. Super dope.
It's also rudimental, like foundational stuff. So like, I know you have a lot of young clients. I have a couple of young clients, but doesn't matter the age. There's some people that have never touched a weight in their life, and they're coming into.
And I would say it is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable science. That stuff, you know what I mean? So like, I could give something to a 5-year-old that I would also give something to the 80-year-old. It's non-negotiable. If it's going to work for the 5-year-old, it's going to work for the 80-year-old, depending on what they're looking for. Now, most 5-year-olds aren't looking to do the same stuff that the 80-year-olds.
Yeah, I'm not doing a statue thing with a 5-year-old.
You know what I mean? So it depends, and you have to be creative, like he was saying. So we could do the same workout, but it would be different variations to it. And you have to know your clients and work with them in a such that another person wouldn't necessarily know how to do. So it's very, very cool, very cool, very fortunate.
All right. Sure.
All right, so another question for you. What would you say positive since you started training that you've seen outside the gym, whether you have an influence on friends, family, and then random people in your community, and then also along with that, negatives that you've seen since you started training that's affected you outside the gym necessarily?
That's a good question. Yeah. That's a good question. So I think positives is I don't have to, and I never was this guy that was preachy about fitness. I always walked it. I always walked that walk and that talk. So I don't even bring up. So
he's him. Yeah.
Yeah. Easy.
He's him.
I always notice, and this is something that even before I was a personal trainer, even just being in the fitness industry, being in this fitness world, people look at you. They see you. They see what you're doing. They see how you spend your time, and all of a sudden you hear, "Oh yeah, I want to go to the gym. I want to get to the gym. I want to start working out again. I want to start walking." And rather than me just saying, "Oh yeah, you're a poser. Yeah, you're not going to really do it," or saying something like, "Yeah, it's super easy. It's super, like, you just jump into it," I can actually encourage them the right way, and I can also educate them. So I have, a friend who is a recent mom, and it's just like, simple things like going out for a walk with your kid. And, it's taking that kid on the stroller, and you're walking around. That's great exercise for you. Better than nothing. Better than you sitting there. And I can also help people when they have injuries, because everyone comes in with the excuses. "Oh, I got a bad shoulder, I can't really work out." "Oh, you can do this, this, and this," and I can help them with that. And I'm not even trying to make them my client. I'm not even trying to sell them anything. So that is a positive, but also a negative, where everyone's going to come to you for advice on fitness for free. They're going to come to you for, I have had to leave my job and go train my grandma, which I love doing, but it also is,
Granny getting right.
easy. I know how you deal with a granny, so I don't want you talking about like that.
I got all the ladies, bro. All the old ladies.
Yeah, exactly. Geez. But you also become the lifting friend. Like, this literally happened when I took you home the other day. Someone calls him up and goes, "I need your muscles."
Like, you guys are so dumb. Like, I can't do this for you, man.
Now, mind you.
Oh my gosh.
I've also needed Quan's muscles before, and I've also enlisted him to help me with some heavy lifting. But that is definitely a negative of being in the fitness industry. Is, you're definitely that guy who you don't have Sundays anymore. You're gonna be helping people move.
Yeah, you're muscles. You're Mr. Muscles now.
Exactly. But so that would be the negative, is that you lose a lot of free time because I can't say no. And also, exactly. you have to give out a lot of free advice. But, I mean, we're doing this right now with you guys, and we're happy to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in a negative way, but that would be, I guess, a negative takeaway from being in the fitness industry.
Ultimately. Okay. To bounce off of yours, what I would say is the feed off of the internet. Now, I catch myself doing this all the time when I'm all scrolling on Instagram. I don't have TikTok. Delete TikTok. Terrible.
Chill on TikTok.
Nah, delete that. Delete that. So, the internet, man. You go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, or whatever social media platform, and then you see these people with impressive, like, phenomenal physiques or whatever. and then they're selling you guys on programs that they don't even follow themselves, or a program that they just made out, or a program, this is even better, they stole. And they gave to the next person. So I would sign up for it, Will would sign up for it, we would get the same program. How is that going to work for us if our body types are different and our goals are different?
And it's a custom program.
Exactly. So I would say that's one of the biggest negatives is people that come to me saying, I want to look like this guy, or I want to look like her. That's impossible. I'm sorry.
I want to be 230 pounds, lean muscle.
Without putting in any type of work or any type of something. Okay, so we just need to understand. So I would say one of the negatives is the understanding, the lack of understanding of the time and the work that has to be put in. So I would say people want it now because they see other people have it now. And we have to just come to a better understanding that we have to put in the work, and then with the work, with time, comes the results and comes that physique transformation. So the internet's a big negative for me. All the false information that gets thrown up on the internet via Instagram and TikTok, do this workout's better than the next workout. It just gives people a false sense of hope. And realistically, I shut it down. I have to be the one to shut it down. Like, get off of TikTok. Don't follow everything that you guys see, or just come and ask me if you have a simple question. I would love to answer it, and then that's not even just for my clients, that's for outside the gym. I could be working out myself, someone would come up to me and be like, hey, have you tried this? What's this? Show me a TikTok. No, I haven't tried it. Why? Because it's not effective necessarily, or you don't necessarily need it, or there's something that's better for you that'll give you the same results. And when I say better, it's not necessarily better for you. It's overall the compound workout or the lift is necessarily a better workout in itself. All right. But then also I would say a negative, like he was saying, is the phone calls outside the gym when you're off. You're never really off. Which isn't bad because, like I was saying before, continued education. But then we do need some time for ourselves that we try to find, but it's only like 1 or 2 days here and there, a couple hours, because we're working on programs online. Like I know that I just signed up someone new, and she's gonna work out 3 times with me and then 2 days on her own. So I'm gonna give her the workouts that we're gonna do for 3 days, and then what she can do on 2 days of herself. So we're always working on programs, and then I have to give her a nutrition plan and all that stuff. So it's like constant work. That's not a negative, but then when we're outside the gym and we're trying to relax, and then we get phone calls and stuff like that, that's one of the negatives, I would say. But then a positive is, to reflect off of that, is the community, the initial community, and then your friend group. They should be taking advantage of the knowledge that you've learned. And that's what my friends do, at least. And then even so, the initial community. So I'm not from around Islip. I'm about like 30 minutes out. And by me, not necessarily the best neighborhood, and a lot of people were doing what I was doing, going down the bad path or just without any direction. So being fortunate enough to show people a route, show people a way of living, a way of better health, is positive for me. So I get people that, friends, non-friends, asking me, how do I do this? What's your workout program? What's your diet plan like? How did you do it? You're an inspiration, motivation. All that feedback from the initial community is the best thing I would say outside the gym, what I've seen so far. So take advantage of me, man. Take advantage of me. I love it. I love it.
No, absolutely. But piggybacking off the internet one, and how you were saying that you saw a lot of people with ineffective workouts, what's really been bothering me recently is the over-effective workouts. You have these kids that are starting off, this is the first year training, and they're doing super complicated, super isolating, very specific movements like the JPGs. And all those people that are showing you these overcomplicated workouts that you don't really need. We were just talking about this the other day. Fitness is kind of boring, in reality. Effective fitness is really boring. And to explain that to a client that wants to do crazy amounts of reps and wild handstand push-ups, like, oh, I saw this guy do this, and he's got a massive chest. Yeah, he's got chest implants. Anyways, he also didn't get it like that. He got it, realistically, the way me and Kwang got our physiques and the way we got ready for competitions is very boring. 3x10. I have people that are on the floor after a 3x10 workout. It's not bad for you to do a 3x10 if that's what you're at. If that's where you're at, that's amazing. So I don't like when people are like, yeah, I have this, oh, it's a four workout giant set, all drop sets, and you got to be on fire while you do it. Like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't help you.
Stepping on nails.
Literally, and it's like, no,
like,
just do bicep curls, and that's gonna, like, you don't have any mind muscle connection doing all of that. If you do 10 bicep curls and feel every contraction, you're gonna be sore the next day.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And that's one thing. I know he said this way earlier. The knowledge that we could give back. Learning the field necessarily, because we do have a bunch of clients, and when I first started, I would just preach, get you moving, get you going, and then it wasn't until about halfway through my first year I was like, no, corrective exercise is what I want to preach, and that's what I want to give. So I had to completely slow it down, change my style of training, because I was putting myself through that, go. People don't like, I'm crazy. But I was also not training properly, you know what I mean? Once I started training properly, you could even see, if you want to take a look at my old pictures, terrible. You could see the results. Yes, I lost all the weight. I was just not putting on any muscle. Yes, I was putting on size. I just wasn't putting on any muscle. I was putting back on the fat that I was losing because my exercise wasn't corrective. So I was making results, but it wasn't until this recent year that I made the most amount of results, and that's because I've dialed in on my training, stopped going super crazy on the floor, started taking it a little more serious. Yes, it's about having fun, it's about the experience, but you should be still trying to take your workouts serious, as serious as possible. And that doesn't mean you have to slow down your repetitions or do anything like that where you're going super fast. It just means developing that mind-muscle connection and realizing why you are doing this. It's because we're trying to work our muscle groups necessarily. Now I'm into bodybuilding now, so we really isolate it. It's like a little bit of the next level type of training. But original individuals or clients, they're not necessarily looking to do such things. They're just looking to build mass or lose their fat in a corrective way. So training styles, man, learning how to train. I had to touch on that.
No, absolutely.
Touch on that. All right, so that's gonna be it. We're gonna wrap this one up. All right. So this is just gonna be an introduction and then positives and negatives on how we started training and what we've learned from training and what we see inside the gym and outside the gym. So it's gonna be a pretty quick episode. We're gonna look to do 1 to 2 episodes a week, depending on our schedules. We'll try and manage the editing and all that stuff. It's not too crazy, but we do have a lot of work to do inside the gym and then outside with our individuals, because they're our guys, this is going to be for us, but mostly for you guys. If you guys want to take advantage of it, like I was saying, you should be taking advantage of William and myself, because we do have the knowledge, we do have the experience, and we put ourselves through it and we preach it ourselves. So again, take advantage of us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, our ads are going to be down here for display, so you can message us on social medias, or you could just throw a comment down. Also, if you guys have any topics that you guys want us to talk on, we already have a big list. We're going to try and make an episode per topic or multiple topics in the episode. Please be sure to comment them, or again, message us with the topic that you want to hear. If there's anything that you guys need from us, please be sure we leave the feedback. But again, we're going to cut it right now. Thank you guys for joining us. Nice and easy. Day number 1, Coaches Convos. Beautiful.
Excellent. Definitely thank you for watching. You're gonna see the background gonna change a lot. We're gonna try and find like a good home for this studio. We're gonna just try and mess around. It's gonna be a little growing pains in the beginning, so bear with us. But like he said, this is for you guys. This is a conversation that me and Quan would have anyway. So it's definitely for us, because we always grow from these conversations, and you're gonna watch us, like the light bulbs are gonna hit in both of our heads as each other are talking. But this is also for you, so definitely take advantage of it, like Quan said. And we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, wait. Sorry. This is not going to be strictly just fitness as well. We're going to have some fun on there too. We'll talk sports. We'll talk food. I'm talking about wings and food. I'm talking about wings and stuff. We'll talk sports, most definitely. And then we'll talk about food and nutrition as well. So definitely look forward to that. It's not just going to be strictly fitness. But it is Coaches Convos, so we'll
definitely.
talk.
If you have questions for us personally, feel free to ask those. If they're not too out of pocket, we'll answer them on
I'll answer some out of pocket questions.
That's on you. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Peace.